Twitter quite regularly. So just got to know like Hectagon is sponsoring like a hackathon and so on. But like other than that, not really anything else I can say.
But did you talk with Anhil about what we talked about last time, or he didn't update you?
So the last time I spoke with him, he just told me that that he don't think it's a good idea for him to attend this meeting anymore, because the more that he talk, he feel like that the more that he's kind of skew the direction towards something else rather than rather than the venture capital model.
Yeah, definitely. He also have some idea for Web3, right? Like quite of the revolutionary guy. So yeah. All right. So let's talk. What do you have in mind?
Okay, give me a sec.
Sure thing.
Yeah, let me just share this and then. So disregard any of the design, but in terms of the doing venture capital investment, there's when I first started the Hectagon, there's like two models that I looking towards. One is YCombinators. YCombinators, they pioneer a concept called accelerators, and basically they doing investment into very early stage companies back in and these guys they based in Silicon Valley, but even back in about 2007 2008 they invest very small amount of money, like $10,000 per companies for about 7% in equity, and that's a really tiny amount of money even back in 2007, especially in Silicon Valley. And the idea is that these guys they invest in people, they invest in teams, invest in founders, and they trust that good great people eventually will be successful. So they just invest in people and ideas and allows people to just explore with their ideas to see if they can build companies eventually. And a lot of the founders that go into YCombinators, they didn't success with their first ventures, but they just keep building and then they pivot their models, and then eventually a lot of the YCs alumni become unicorns. Some of the earliest companies like Stripe, Airbnb, Dropbox. What's the competitors of Uber? Lyft. Like all these guys, they come out of the accelerators of YCombinators, and even OpenSeas, which is a marketplace, NFT marketplace. Yeah. So read this as well. So eventually YCombinators become known for as the go-to startup schools and accelerators for anyone who want to start up, and then then gradually they expand their investments first exclusively in Silicon Valleys, and then and then later they expand to now basically they just invest all over the world. With the batch size, back in 2007, a batch size of YCombinator is about 7 to 10 companies. Nowadays, they just do online coachings and online startup schools, and then they accept like 100 companies at a time.
Yeah.
So in terms of the venture capitals for Hectagon, this is something that I want to eventually become known for. So invest in teams, not necessarily those teams don't necessarily be already backed by tier 1 VCs, but Hectagon can be the one that had unearthed these hidden gems across the globe. So unlike YCombinators, investing in Web 2, there's still a lot of geographical limitation. So that's why in the beginning they only focus in Silicon Valleys before they expand to other regions. In Web 3, you don't have the same limitation. So for us, we don't need to limit in any geography. We can invest globally right away.
Right.
Yeah. So that's one model. The second model that I also really like is Andreessen Horowitz. Andreessen Horowitz is a little bit different. Andreessen Horowitz is a venture capitalist, but it's like kind of in the other side of the spectrum. YCombinator invest in the very early stage of the companies. Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z, they invest quite a bit later. But the difference between Andreessen Horowitz and other VC is that they really focus on building their expert team. So all these people are the network of Andreessen Horowitz. I guess a lot of them get paid by Andreessen Horowitz, but but many of them are also just basically partners, contributors. And the difference between the Andreessen Horowitz and other VC is that they really focusing on the investment team that can help the startup that they're investing into. They invest in the companies. They can send in let's say they can send in a go-to-market teams to help the companies in terms of designing like what the go-to-market strategies, who's the partner to work with, etc. So this is something that in Hectagon we want to do as well. And the difference with Andreessen Horowitz, the way that they're able to attract these talent is that they manage a lot of fund. They manage, I think now about between $3 to $10 billion. That's how they have enough management fee to be able to pay the investment teams and all of these people to work for them. For Hectagon, the beauty of Web3 is that there's a lot of people in different countries that can provide different skill sets that are beneficial for projects, and we can, with Hectagon, with a smaller fund size, we can basically replicate similar things to A16Z, which is recruiting talents through our communities, through our networks to work for Hectagons and earn the Hecta token. So those are the two models that I look towards. YCombinator is kind of the same. YCombinator, they build a network over time from successful entrepreneurs that went through their boot camp and then later come back to become investors and also become mentors for future companies. Andreessen Horowitz, they leverage the founders' reputations and the financial power that they have to build a network of experts to work with them and basically help the project they're investing in like all sort of different aspects of the business. And I guess all these keywords here is basically the same things that eventually Hectagon will need to be able to help the project that we're investing in. So investing in capital network is helping project raise more funding after A16Z, investing in them, go-to-market, sales, HR, talent, recruitment, HR, marketing, operations, etc. Yeah.
Okay,
so those are
I can see.
the two models.
Okay, I can see a lot of resemblance in the model that Hectagon is building. Definitely. All right. So I
So what do you guys
guess
think?
I think that is quite clear. The YCombinator is as I know, they founded in 2005, which is like quite early age in the startup world. So I mean, like the idea of a accelerator back then, probably a very bold thing and very like innovative thing to do. I think right now they mostly attract people through their product management and startup school kind of program, which make total sense, especially as they already build a very strong reputation for themselves. I mean, like even I am a designer, right? I know YCombinator, and I joined some of their workshop on Zoom and so on. So I think definitely like for them now is just like maintaining their reputation. And A16, I think like they have built such a strong team. It just, I think just the star power already helped them to shine through the dark sky, right? It's like they are so shiny because of the people that the amount of people that working with them and so on. So I understand all this, and I see that it's like I can see in the Web3 future where this team can be decentralized, and the contribution can be recorded and monitored through smart contract, and also like the activities for learning about startups in Web3 can be done like by a learn to earn kind of mechanism. I think that's the future look great, right? But I think the problem right now at this moment is that, first of all, we don't have this star power enough to attract people. The second problem is we don't have a reputation, long-standing reputation like YCombinator, to be just like attracting people straightforward from that. Especially if at this stage we need to attract entrepreneurs, people who can actually think how to bring business from Web2 model or traditional model to Web3, which is by itself a very difficult thing to do. And that is like when I think like we are stuck at the most, because what next? How do we what do we communicate to do? What exactly are we gonna find the expert first, or are we gonna straightforward do communication and education about startup in the Web3, right? So I think that is my biggest question right now.
So one of the things that we can do to in our communication is, so even though this is for VSP Capital, but we can basically use the same keywords here because it's the same people looking for companies. So one of the things that one of the angle that we can use to attract both community members and also good startup is making clear that we are focusing on people. like on the founding teams, because with the market is in the bear market currently right now, like a lot of good team can't even raise fund. I invested last year, and then I also doing investment this year. Like last year, a lot of shitty teams, you talk to them one time, and if you don't make a decision to invest in them on the spot, usually the next day that is gone. But the market this year is different. There's two reasons. First of all, less people are looking for making investments and parting away with their money right now. So the companies, the startup that raising fund, they can't really leverage investor against each other anymore. So a lot of good teams currently are finding themselves that fundraising is not easy. And anytime when I meet with a team, whenever I just make clear to them that we really focus on the team to see like why they start doing what they're doing. That's usually gain a lot of traction with the team. They become much more responsive, etc. And these, like the part on the left here is usually how I look for key characteristics that I look for in people that I investing in or work with. And then another concept that we can definitely leverage is, let me find that video. Here, I'll just send the I'll just send the link to this video. So this video is a new one. I follow this guy. He's an ex investment banker, and now he's doing YouTube full time recently.
Wow.
The idea of this video,
I know this channel.
Yeah. So this is the newest, latest videos, and the idea is basically time in the market beats timing the market, and that's how people should approach to Hectagon. Just like investing gradually, what money they can spare into Hectagon rather than timing it. And we cover the same idea in our docs as well. Here. So why does Hectagon exist? In here we cover the idea of like if you're an investor and then you're trying to time the market, and then basically you just miss the best like in the Dow Jones. If you just consistently investing in the market, you can get about almost 8% of annual return per year. But if you're just missing out on the best 6 months or in the best 12 months here, basically your returns is vastly different. And you look at these annual returns, you didn't see a lot of difference between, like, if you just consistently in the market, you make about 8% a year. If you miss the best 12 months, you only make about 4%. So that's about 3% difference. It doesn't sound like a lot, but this is 3% per year. So at the end, it works out that if you miss the best 12 months, basically you just make like 40% of what you could have made. So the idea of Hectagon is you shouldn't like lean into Hectagon with all your money and expect short-term returns. With Hectagon, the idea is you invest what money you can spare after all your saving, all of your monthly costs. You put it into Hectagons, and the way that Hectagon are going to make money for you is that we're going to take that money and we put it into the potential Web3 projects. And then there's a couple comparison between like why investing in Web3 is basically that's where it leads into the idea of Hectagon want to be the Y Combinators of Web3.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, that was communication to the retail investor, and the communication right now is like you shouldn't invest in stock market, instead invest in Web3 with the spare money you have.
Right. So I think there's a couple of messages. First of all is timing the market, be timing the market. So you shouldn't invest like every single penny that you have and then expect short-term returns. You should invest gradually and consistently over time. So that's the first message. The second message is if you already commit to invest consistently and gradually over time, then investing in Web3 is much better compared to investing in the stock market or even in traditional tech startups. The reason being that Web3 is just much less crowded compared to the traditional tech industry. And then Web3 is also not yet at the point of what it called
saturation.
Yeah, it's not even saturation. It's not yet at the point where everything start booming yet. It just look for that research. So basically, A16Z, they did a research and they show that for the internet, everything only start picking up after the period of around 1995 is when a lot of people onboarding onto the internet, but not until like 2005 where everything start to go into the mass market periods. And for most of the technology startup, you see that most of them are built around that period, like 2003, 2005 onwards. And currently A16Z, they said that the Web3 market is like the equivalent of internet in 1995. So that's still very early, and it's not yet at the point where everything is crowded.
Yeah, the thing that I have like I mean, like, just I don't understand, because for retail investor, like most of the people right now in crypto, they are more in the FOMO kind of mentality, not really like actual fundamental understanding and investment. So when they see, it's just like when you're already in investment, you know that you should invest in early stuff, not in the thing that is already booming. But most of the people in the retail investment kind of market, they invest in things that is already like saturated, right? So like, how do we communicate that?
Let's see. Okay, let me just get this file. Okay. So if you look at these pictures, this is the data that we pulled from CoinMarketCap, where they track all the tokens, and then we just see between the first date where CoinMarketCap start tracking a tokens until like every 6 months we take the price of the tokens, and then we see that like usually what's the return is like for a new tokens going on CoinMarketCap, and what's the return is like CoinMarketCap only track the public token, right? And what we can see is that across about 7 years of data, at no point where investors can lose money. Basically, this is what this chart said. But at the same time, the only way for investors to not lose money is that they consistently put money into the market, and then they put money into every token that that being tracked by CoinMarketCap. Like rather than picking like which token to go in, they should just like throw money at the market and treat every token the same. So the argument that we make is that so this is basically just to show that compared to investing in an ETF in Web2, like investing in a index fund in the stock market, the returns for an index fund on a Web3 market is much better. But also it's not realistic because there's like 15,000 tokens in this database. And there's no way you invest in all these 15,000 tokens. But another thing to keep in mind is that all these tokens are trading. These are the multiple after the public price. But the private price of a token is usually much lower compared to a public price. So that's what Hectagon bring. Hectagon bring even a lower entry point for the retail investor that usually they don't get. And without Hectagon, they also don't have access to this entry point, because in order to invest in private round, usually you have to be a VC. And without being a VC, there's basically no way that you get into this round. So what we're trying to communicate is investing in Web3 has a much higher ceiling for success. It's also less crowded, so less people sharing in this profit. So it's easier for you to make profit. We offer even better deals compared to rather than just go on CoinMarketCap to see what token is trading and buy in. We offer that retail investor can participate in the token sales before they go to public. And the reason that we focus in the people is because we will have the data to back that every token that able to go into a public sale successfully will make money for investors. The main problem that investor has to look out for is not putting money into scam project where they just take the money and run away. And basically that's the bare minimum that Hectagon is trying to do. Even if we, regardless of our ability to pick the project, but one thing that we definitely do better is, for the retail investor is durations the project to make sure that we are not putting money into scam project.
Yeah, even like in CoinMarketCap, there's a lot of scam project, right? This is not okay. But the thing is, I understand your notion here, and I did remember the notion about anything that go into my CoinMarketCap get the raise. And there was a trend that everybody watching from CoinMarketCap to know which coin is going to be listed, and then immediately it gets spike up, right? So I know what it is. I think like the two factor in the CoinMarketCap let go it phenomenon, right? It's just like, first of all, CoinMarketCap was there from the very beginning of the crypto kind of like, you know, growing and investing and so on. So people know them, right? That what the first thing. The second thing is that like it's consistently give the investor, the early investor in the early listed coin in CoinMarketCap the return in investment. So I think that two factor give people the trust to I don't think that most of them, I don't think that they even do any fundamental research. They're just like, yeah, let's just go for like the CoinMarketCap relisting and buy the coin. And again, like there's two things. Like there was one of the first one that do this kind of like project listing, coin listing, and so on, and they have this kind of consistent story that entice people to invest in them. So like honestly, I think like they make a huge kind of effect on social media, on Twitter, that people just do that. And I know a lot of people just do that. They don't need explanation. They don't need any message. They're actually actively looking forward to see if anything that's going to be listed in CoinMarketCap, right? So I think like in our case, we don't have that advantage, right? We don't have that advantage. It's just like kind of hard to convince people that we have a winning strategy. I know that we was using like the information and the track we got from VSV, but again, still, this is two different brands. When you already like communicate for one brand, it's already hard, right? This is like another bridge from one brand to another brand. It's just like a gap of communication, and it's harder. So I think in general, whatever strategy that we have, doesn't matter how good it is at the beginning for crypto market, it's going to be very hard to communicate.
Yeah, so it doesn't, I don't think we need to convince people of a winning strategy, because if we focus on, yeah, we shouldn't focus on that Hectagon has a winning strategy in terms of making investment, because those can only be communicated through the actual result of the investment, which we haven't made yet. Right?
These guys are crazy. They just hide themselves. Like, nobody know who the founder is. They just like play the mysterious game. I like that strategy, the communication strategy a lot. But yeah, they just like, yeah, this magic, right? And they make the whole meme and the whole game theory thing on top of it, which is like attract a lot of geek. And I like their communication a lot.
Yeah, so this so the website it changed a lot, but basically this part is still about the same. Like what is Olympus? Now you read this, doesn't actually make any sense. As long as you have a call to action for people to rally behind you. And one of the things that I think another angle that we can use is this. Not sure where I can find that tweet from Jack Dorsey.
Yeah, the guy building Web5.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if he tweets about us, it's gonna be the best thing ever. Doesn't matter if it's against or for, right? But that is a long shot.
So basically what for the like, let's say for Hectagon now, what we need to communicate with them is first of all, the timing in the market is those are our own true. I think we should cover that. But in terms of the call to action, like if you look at the can't find those material. So earlier, Jack Dorsey, one of his tweets, he said that people believe that Web3 is decentralized, but it's not decentralized. Web3 is owned by VC, right? Web3 is owned by centralized VCs, which make it not decentralized. So, so basically, what the message say is, it's not only about the control, but also the rewards as well. For people the people who make money from Web3 retail investors is the centralized VC. So ultimately, it's not a whole lot of people making money in Web3. It's just a couple of already rich venture capitalists. So what we can what Hectagon offer is a VC model. So for the project, it's still very similar to working with a VC. That's why we put that message. Here's like familiar workflows compared to working with the VCs. But the people who get benefits from these deals are literally like retail investors, are the small people compared to just the big VC. So I think what the communication need to be able to achieve is that to help people to basically join in the journeys of like making investment together.
Like I talked with Lộc last week about that when it's come to like a tribal kind of organization and people giving each other kind of like companionship and recognition. The social games has to be strong, right? Like the why I come to invest with you, because I trust you, and also you are trustworthy, and also the people that I'm putting my money with are the good people. I don't want to invest with let's just say I don't want to invest with gangster, for example. It's not the best example, but yeah, you know what you know what I mean, right? It's also, so when you say like it is together, you basically have to say that it is like a good community. The most important thing is like who is the people in the community. Maybe we can have a run that, like kind of like who is the people in the community who is not the people who like exactly investor or like super whatever, but just good people, for example, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like in terms of like with data, I don't think we can use data to back any of that up. So it's more of a running our own communities and have a feel of like what people think about us at the moment, and then take that leap. If you look at this comment on CoinMarketCap here, right? Let's say for this guy, he's yeah, for this guy, he's pretty bearish in terms of if you want to lose money, invest in Hectagon. Like all and then the people who reply to him, we have no idea who they are. Like in Web3, it's really hard to track whether or not these are community members, or like which like account that they belongs to, or KYC them. But if you read this, like for this guy, you read this comment and you know it's not a bot, it's not an AI that go on here and then do this and then give this comment. Or if you look at this like only logical based, will Hectagon grow on that only logical based answers? You look at these answers as well. You read this answer and you know it's not a bot. So in terms of like concrete data, it's hard to say. Like there's no data that points concretely what it is.
I understand totally what you mean, but that's exactly why communication exists. You can really just wash that away if you have just like consistent communication, right? Just like talk with people about like, just come up with the first few people that's really truly believe in Hectagon and the way that the project is going, or like come vote with us, come whatever, you know, like a month later, nobody even gonna remember any of this. Like anybody play around with crypto, lose money or win money at some point in their life, right? It's nothing new, and doesn't matter like how lazy you are. There's always gonna be people who wait for you to be listed in CoinMarketCap and swoop in and do all kind of trick to get the best of it and then just run away. It's not even like crypto project developer, but just some dude. So I think it doesn't really matter much at this early stage in the like the community. Just keep a consistent appearance, right? And then go from there, because at the end of the day we still have to do it. When we have the data to back it up, great. Like I want to send to you this company. They get people invest in gold, and I really like their communication. let me check. Okay, here we go. We have this guy. I will send you in the because in general, like the principle is like basically the more complex is the communication, the more you have to communicate, and the more consistent you have to be, right? So that is the first step. But just take a look at this. They start very simple. I think that'll be fun to watch.
So
I send you guys a messenger.
Messenger.
The art is so viral. It's so simple. It just like doesn't make any sense, but it just give you the vibe that yeah, chill. It's just for everyone. And they make a bunch of this super short art, just push it everywhere in the internet, and I think it hits, right? It's making like a fun take out of it. Maybe like the VC concept and everything is just too complex somehow. Maybe like we can the main thing the main thing is like VC for everyone, for example. Like what is VC? Like a lot of people don't even know what VC, right? So short communication that stick in people's head.
Right. So just so basically so first establish that investing in Web3 is what everyone should do. And
yeah, but why? Right?
You should do it with
the feeling.
So I think the key trust is one thing that we can definitely use, because I guess it's no reason to say why people should trust us based on our track record and etc.
Yeah, no reason, but just feeling.
Right.
Just feeling, right?
But right now, with the community that we currently have, if we put out information, if we put out communication message about investing with the team that you trust, investing with a team that you can trust, or investing with a team and the community that you can trust and talk to, I think that will resonate with the current audience that we have. That will also possibly bring in new people as well, because even though it sounds like simple that any project in any field can use that word, but if you experience in Web3, you know that it's really hard to find. Like a lot of people right now, a lot of people who already invest. We know a couple of people who already invest like $5,000 or $10,000 in buying Hectagon. They never talk to us. We just track this wallet, and a lot of them not even saying much on our communities, but we can see that every time when we do something right, we consistently doing community call, share with the communities of what we're thinking of doing next. We see that that these people like come back and buy more. So
maybe.
So I think trust currently is something that we have with the community.
Okay, so what about like we can run a small campaign for people to show themselves, because like it's safe and it's just like all safe place, right? It's not nothing like it's just clear, everything transparent. So like if we can have like a campaigns that we can airdrop for anyone that actually like show a little bit of about themselves, like a short video, for example, talking about like why do you like Hectagon in one sentence, for example, and can give them some incentive. every day you're gonna have some content to push to people, right? And then you add a little bit of narrative from our own, like we got you, for example, like invest with us, we got you, or something like that, right? So every day you got some of those kind of like content up in social medias and so on, and people are just like, yeah, what the hell is this community? People actually, the first time ever I seen actually people talking in in this thing that I actually know who they are, and I think that gonna change a lot because like it's gonna show people like getting a lot of trust, right? Because I think that one of the stigma in crypto is like even the word crypto, it sounds so like mysterious, like nobody know each other, nobody know anything. So maybe it's like, yeah, no worry, everybody can be safe here, that's it. And then you can trust it in your like kind of like instinctive kind of way, unconsciously, not really like you have to think about it, like why. Because when people introduce each other, that's the first thing that you actually gain trust from one another, right? You say, hi, I'm from Phuthọ, right? So you are, okay, you're from Phuthọ, I know you. So something like that.
Yeah, Katie, what do you think? Like right now we have a at least we have a group of like, I don't know, I mean like 7-10 angels who's not anyway related to us. They just like us so much that they just being very active in the community, helping us.
And I think like for website idea, you can have like Hectagon logo like in that very fun grid, just rotating slowly like a network moving, and then people faces pop up, and then you hover it and you click on it, and the video appear. So everybody say something is going to be stored in a IPFS somewhere, and then it's like pull into the homepage, right? So you can explore what other people say just naturally and so on. I think that would be quite fun.
Like, can you repeat that? Because I like, but before Ling asked me, I wasn't catch the idea that you are talking about.
Okay. Okay, let me like, because in general, like how to build trust, because honestly, communication wise, we will never be able to convince people, especially retail investor, about VC model and everything. It's just too hard. Nobody understand that. Nobody can fathom that. I mean, like I am been like in working with startup for years, and whenever I talk about like VC and how they manage to invest, I'm like, I'm out. I don't understand, right? So when at the end of the day, it's all about like community and doing things together. So it's I think like this is human nature and like instinct to feel connected to the community somehow. But if you've never seen the faces of the people, then you don't know, and you don't feel connected, you don't feel together. And if you are only looking at the famous people that other crypto projects is kind of like using this like super well-known guy to have the thing up, it doesn't give any like kind of like close net or togetherness either. I know that I'm never gonna meet that guy. I know that in my life, maybe I'm gonna cross path to him once in my life, and that's it. And I'm never gonna be able to connect with him. I'm not doing anything with him. He has his own agenda and own kind of like thinking in his head, right? So how do we kind of like do that kind of thing that people feel like they are connected? So I was thinking about like, oh shit, sorry, I don't know if you can see it. So like a website like this, just like with the Hectagon logo, like moving slowly, and the face of the people pop up, like the faces of people. Oh, sorry. So here it's just simple like that, and some simple message, right? And then maybe like in here can be a message or something that people sign. Don't need to invest on anything. Just like send some message to the community through the blockchain, and then the message and their avatar appear in the middle, and then start to go together with the people around, right? So that could be a fun take for the website, I think. But yeah, I mean, like in general, what the idea here is like people like to be introduced, and they want to say hi when they come to a community. They want to say hi, and they want to know who they are saying hi to, and maybe we can run a communication campaigns around that.
Like the VC of the people.
Yeah, VC of the people. And who is
like
the people,
VC
right?
of the people. That's that's what I thought, because like I've been listening to you guys talk for a bit, because Linh talk a lot about VC and YCombinator and then A16 A16, but that is popular for the startup people, like who the venture builder, like people who already have a business. But for people who like general people, like the mass, they don't even know what that is, and then
Exactly.
it's only us know, and then that's only appealing. So the story of VC probably appealing for the startups or the Web3 project only, but for the mass, because like Hectagon, for the website, we want to talk to the public. We want to talk like you are part of us, like what I just I just thinking out loud here, like the VC of the people. That is what I got from your drawing. It also kind of like makes sense, but we also need to like somehow incorporate the like the concept of VC on it. So actually for VC to me, it would just like it's just a way of investing that's very lucrative. Like it's very it's way more return on investment than Dow Jones, for example, based on what Linh said. Now, for the public, they just only just need to know that whoever get your foot on the door with VC investing, it's way more than others, like other way of investment. So if somehow the people moving around the like Hectagon Center, and then it's getting bigger, or like somehow demonstrate the growth or the profit, it's also kind of like
it's fun.
Trying to
it's fun interactive
demonstrate
experience.
something as well,
Yeah.
And also I think
because
in terms
like
of
I really like
I don't think we need to do too much in terms of convincing people that invest in like venture capital investment is making a lot of profit, because like people might not understand how venture capital works, but there's a lot of stories out there about how venture capital makes a lot of money. So I think to get them to take action is more about if they can trust the team, or if this is the community that they want to hang out with, and this is the community that they can trust, not just in the team, but also in the other members of the community as well.
Exactly.
And the good thing right now is we already have an existing communities that trusting us at the moment. So
and I think
leverage
right
that
now,
community, get some people to show their face, say something nice about us, or say why they bought the Hectagon token. That's kind of
super chill, nothing serious, just like we got you, we are here, join us, feel easy. So I think like especially right now, I think the notion is like whoever stay at this market and investing, they're a believer. So I think that is one of the things that get people feel good about themselves, is like, I am a believer, right? I'm a believer of the Web3 future, and I'm here and I'm investing. And where am I investing? I don't know. So I invest in Hectagon, because they are also a big believer, and they believe in it so much that they making a fund to boost the Web3 project to grow and to build a strong community, right? So I think like the notion of being together as believers of the Web3 future, I think that is good catch.
I think I like the way we're going with the idea of VC of the people. And then your suggestion of animation is not it's quite okay to me. I just don't know how we execute that. But one of the visualization I really like, it's the key section of Olympus style. You know, like they have the gates, and then they have like all the coin going through their gates and turn them into like token. So I was like, they didn't say anything, but it speaks a lot. So yeah, like I think the idea is good. Probably you know, like like the people popping up on the screen, you know, like go to the Hectagon, or because it's the value contribution, like that is because we build our protocol based on the value of contribution. So you know, we have you know, like a network, like a big crowd of people which is like circling around and make Hectagon like you know, like a big thing. So yeah, somehow if we can marry them together, it's also quite cool. But that's the idea, but I don't know how how to do that.
Yeah,
but
that's my job. That's my job to visualize it. But I think like today we already got through 1 hour, so I think that today is good. We got to know about the vision that Linh has for the future, and I think that is pretty cool that we figure out some of the agreement on the narrative. I think like but today is just very raw kind of narrative and like notion that we are putting out, and it feel like it is sticking with us. So I think from now to the next session, you guys can finalize that narrative and say like, okay, what is the final words that you are saying and final content, and then we finalize one more time. And we will do the rest. We will take that and we will turn that to like an interactive experience to some kind of visual communication.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I think in the short terms, trust and transparency is something that that's really important to us, because we want the community to actually involve in the decision making. So that's why we hold the community call weekly to just talk with the communities what we think. So so building trust through being transparent and forthcoming with our idea. That's something that I think in the short term we should focusing on, because let's say if in like 6 months or 12 months after this, at that time we already make some investment, so that's when we can say like what's the all-time high of the investment that we make, how much money that we return. But for now, until then, I think
absolutely yes. Right now, just like kind of like program the mass subconscious that chill, we cool, come here, we're fun together, let's go. Okay, cool. Jana, do you want to close the conversation?
I don't think I have anything to add. I think you guys already exhausted the topic. That's all good from me.
Yeah, so please feel free, you know, like you know, like along the way when you develop what we discussed today, because I know it's quite raw. Please feel free to let us know if you need any help, and then we will like get back to you. I'll let you on mute.
Sorry, thank you so much for the time. Good talk, good direction. See you guys soon. Have a great evening and a great week.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.